Gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. We are about to depart our main flight from gate 69. Thank you very much for your patience. If this is not the correct flight, departing from remember this is flight gate 69 from flight 101. If this is not your correct flight, then please now might be a good time to let us know. For any of you who have not flown before, please pay attention to the on-screen safety instructions and try not to get too distracted by the ambience outside. If anything coming through your earbuds right now isn't quite right, then I'm afraid you may just have to learn how to cope. I hope that everyone on board is having a lovely day today. Looking ahead, we have signs of I'm gonna have to check my weather report. I think we should be in for clear skies with some light clouds. No turbulence should be ahead, so we should be in for a soft, lovely flight together, which I am very much looking forward to. Thank you very much for everything today, everybody. Thank you very much for being so very good and for keeping quiet. I'm very excited to have a peaceful flight. So let me run over a few ground rules first. I've been in this business for a very long time, and I don't take kindly to certain things that people try to do when we depart. The first one, please don't clap when the plane lands. It's cringe, and I don't like it. Third of all, please try not to make too much noise while you're on board. If anything goes wrong, or if anything makes you unhappy, if anything doesn't seem quite right, then please keep your mouth shut. Although, during the flight, we will be accepting suggestions and requests from the crew of this flight or from the passengers of the flight. So if any of you would like to call ahead, make sure you would like to... I'm very sorry if the plane ambience is just a little bit loud. You'll have to let me know. You'll have to... I set everything up this morning, so please, if it's a little bit loud, don't worry about it, okay? Alright, thank you very, very much. Okay, without further ado, in order to keep on schedule, we'll have to be taking off very, very soon, so please, make sure your seatbelts are fastened, and make sure that you're ready for a flight. I understand some of you might not be great flyers, so please try not to be scared. If any of you get scared, please just let me know, okay? Alright. Without further ado, here we go. Now please strap in, and if you're wondering why I'm not wearing my seatbelt, it's because I'm just built fucking different, alright? So please don't worry too much about it, and we'll be taking off any moment now, okay? There we go. The smell of the air. Now, you might be a little confused as to why there is so much communication going on between the flight cabin and the passengers. That's because this is a unique flight experience. You and I will be talking to one another throughout the entire flight experience. So, first of all, we will be flying for a good while today. This is a 2-hour flight, roughly. And once during the flight, I'll be accepting questions, and you all have special in-flight earbuds that you've got to put in so you can hear me nice and close to your head. I'm very sorry if I stammer or I'm not sure what to say at any point during this flight. Flying a plane is a risky business, and it's just me up here. It's just me, so no worries regarding any of that. The in-flight cabin will be coming around shortly with refreshments. I would recommend that you eat and drink something to stay healthy. So, also, I would like to ask really quickly if anyone has any complaints regarding the sound of this experience. If there is anything that you would like me to change, please do let me know, because things sound a little different to me than they do to you. The experience in the cockpit is quite different than the experience from the passenger seat. So please, don't you worry about it, and please do let me know if anything is a little bit too rough or ridiculous. There we go. That should be a little bit better for you. There we go. I'm very sorry about that. Things do sound a little different to me than they might do to you, so please don't worry too much about it. And remember that, above all else, we're here to have fun. Okay? Thank you. Yes, I think I see what the problem was. But now we've got it fixed. And I'm looking forward to having a nice, relaxing evening with all of you. If anyone has any requests, please feel free to send them up to the cabin, and we'll have a chance to talk to one another. But there will be points while I leave you alone, give you a chance to have a talk with one another. I'd like to say thank you to everyone offering donations currently. Although I would like to remind you, you've already paid a pretty extortionate price for your plane ticket. Please don't feel as though we're understaffed or underpaid. We're not. Airlines charge a very high price for everything like that. So please, don't you worry about it. Although, it's not like we're going to turn it down. Me, myself, I am treating myself to a lovely cup of tea. So please, don't worry about it too much. I am nice and hydrated. What meals is the airline offering? That is a very good question. The first meal being offered is, well, it depends on how you'd feel about it. Perhaps you'd like dinner. We have in-flight dinner. Perhaps you'd like an in-flight bath, or perhaps you'd like, perhaps you'd like me. Well, maybe that's a little inappropriate for something to say over the air flight speaker. I'll leave you all alone for a little bit, so please make sure that if you have any questions, you let me know, and I'll see if I can come back and ask you guys any questions myself. All right, thank you very much. A lot of you want to see the cockpit. Interesting. Well, if you'd like to look straight ahead, you might be able to see the cockpit right now. Although I'm wondering, the cockpit is a pretty delicate location. It's got a lot of buttons, dials, all those kinds of things. And if you came up here, you might wind up putting the flight in danger. Why should I allow that? Is that not something we should allow? Is that something we should have? It seems kind of interesting, but, you know. You might feel like you're sitting in the cockpit, but I actually am, and it's a lot more difficult than it might appear at first. I'm sorry, allow me to check what somebody just said. The Captain Special. Huh. Is that some kind of a crude joke? No, I'd like to let everyone on board right now, please. Please think carefully about what you're saying. I'm a professional. I went to flight school. I've been studying how to fly planes since I was just a little boy. I'm not about to risk my career over a flight full of thirsty bastards like yourselves. You might find a man in uniform attractive, but I'm a man in uniform because I've worked very hard for it. And I'm not about to give that up. Do you understand? Make sure to control yourselves, okay? You wouldn't want to let me down now, would you? I apologize. I need to turn my microphone off when I go to take a drink, but I'm sure that all of you might not mind that. Might not mind that much at all, actually. Thank you very much for the suggestion. Can I eat you, Captain? No. If I was to be eaten, the plane would surely crash, and then you would all die. And I cannot allow that to happen. As your pilot, it's my responsibility to take care of all of you, and if I wound up causing any problems, then I would surely use my job quite fast. So, please, I'd like you to respect that I will not allow myself to be eaten. Get nervous when there's turbulence. Are you okay with one-handed piloting, so I can hold your hand? Well, that might be possible during certain parts of the flight. If any of you would like to join me in the cockpit, certain parts of the flight might not require both hands to be on the wheel, so if any of you would like your hands held, I suppose I can make an exception. Although, showing attention towards certain members of passengers over others might result in a reprimand from management, so I may have to think quite carefully about what I decide to do. But I think that sounds like quite a fun time to myself, so perhaps we can make it work. Where is our destination? That is a good question. So this flight is sort of something new that we're experimenting with. We actually do not currently have a destination. We're flying just in random directions and hoping we don't hit anything, which I think sounds like quite a plan. Unknown, thank you for the super. The destination is my home. My home. You'll never find out where I live. And if you do, I'm afraid I'd have to kill you. It appears I'm getting word from upstairs. I'm getting word from management. Apparently we're receiving something called a rainbow super currently. So I'd like to say a big thank you to Miss Kawada-chan for being so generous. Oh, I see. Yes. I see. There's a rainbow outside the window. It's a very creative way of administering a donation to this flight service. So thank you very much for your kind patronage. We have another request. Can I sit on your lap while you're piloting this plane? I've paid hard for these tickets. Now this is an interesting moral dilemma, I suppose. Because, well, normally we wouldn't allow this kind of thing, but it is true that you do tend to pay quite an extortionate price for plane tickets. But then, of course, I understand there might be something, other members of the flight might take issue with that sort of thing, so perhaps we can think about I have to say it might be quite difficult for me to accurately fly a plane while someone is sat on my lap. I don't know, if I find you pretty, I might get a little distracted, and then, I don't know, who knows what'll happen then. At least we'll get to have some fun if the plane crashes, huh? We also received some very generous donations from Nico Neko. Thank you very much. It's not quite my birthday yet, but thank you very, very much for your kind donation. I'll make sure to save you a seat up front. I'm sorry you can't be there for the big event tomorrow, but I'm glad that you can be here today. What is our in-flight movie? Well, the in-flight movie is right here. Here I am. On your in-flight movie. We're not offering any other services regarding in-flight movies because, simply enough, I feel like a lot of you would rather pay attention to what's going on right in front of you right now. Isn't that right? Please don't try and distract me. I still have to keep my eyes on the plane. And if you might be able to notice, I am staring directly away from the way we're going. So we are in danger. And it's all your fault. Oh, it appears we're coming across another rainbow out of the window. So if you guys would like to see, if you guys want to see some pretty colors, then please, if you look off to your left, you might be able to see a really nice rainbow. You can thank Mrs. Hayaki for that one. A very generous donation of a very generous rainbow. I've seen someone ask if the Lorax movie is available on the in-flight selection. No. Originally, our business partners who choose the list of in-flight entertainment available wanted the Lorax to be available, and I personally said that I would quit if the Lorax was available on any flight that I captain. I was very much in danger of getting fired, but they know that they can't fire me. They know that, well, there's not much they can really do. I'm the best pilot this agency has, and you're very lucky to be being flown around by me. And to get so much attention while I do. So please, try not to panic, and make sure that you, well, give me a lot of attention in return. Yes, right now, the door to the cockpit is very securely closed. I really don't understand if any of you might try busting the door down to come and see me. Whether you want to propose to me, whether you want to hold my hand, or whether you want to, or something else, I suppose. The door is locked. So, bang and pound all you like. You won't get in. I'd like to thank everyone very, very much for all of their kind donations today. This airline would not be the same without your very, very generous patronage. So please, remember that we love you dearly. Thank you. No. You'll have to fight a lot harder for me to let you in. You won't be able to remove the door. I was ready for this. I've reinforced that thing for many days. I'd like to see you try. You would like like some captain with your wine? Well, we're not actually serving alcohol on this flight. It's a little too early in the day. We don't want to encourage day drinking. But, I suppose we can make an exception to the latter. If you'd like to ask very, very nicely, maybe you can have some captain with your wine. But in the meantime, I do need to stay focused on the flight ahead. I'm gonna leave you alone for a while. Make sure you enjoy the views. And don't try anything stupid, because I will know. Do you understand? Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. I promise I wasn't just eating some noodles. Being a pilot is kind of difficult sometimes. It's kind of stressful on occasion, and you know, every once in a while, I just need a snack. You know what I mean? So please, I'm very sensitive. Leave me alone while I'm having my lunch, and that's all for that. No, Miss Cherry Booney, we're not going to throw your cat off of the plane. I think there are several laws against that, and even though cats do deal quite well with falls from great heights, I do think that might cause quite a bit of controversy for the agency, so I'm afraid we won't be able to do that for you. Miss Arnold, thank you very much for your message. Why are there gorilla sounds coming from the storage? There are no gorilla sounds coming from the storage. There are no gorillas in the storage. There never were gorillas in the storage. There will not be any gorillas in the storage. Any attempts to prove that there are gorillas in the storage will be met with swift legal justice, and that is all that I am legally allowed to say regarding the gorillas that are not in the storage. Thank you very much for your message. I'm eating because I have the very stressful job of making sure that this plane full of more than 9,000 people makes it to its destination on time. And to be honest, it's kind of difficult sometimes. All I want is the opportunity to relax and eat my dinner, and there will be refreshments served later on in the flight, so please, stop complaining. Or I might have to come back there and scold you myself. Do you understand? Alright, thank you. We actually have a different offer now. Earlier we had a message sent where someone offered to eat me for lunch, and now they're saying that I can have someone else is saying that I can have them instead. I'm not sure if devouring an entire human being would be too difficult to do while flying a plane, but I suppose we might be able to give it a try. Thank you very much, Jamie, for the message. I sound like Henry Emily from the Five Nights at Freddy's Pizzeria Simulator. Connection terminated. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Elizabeth, but I'm afraid you've been misinformed. You have not been called here to receive a gift, nor have you been called here by the individual you assume. Although you have indeed been called here, you have all been called here, into a labyrinth of sights and smells, misdirection and misfortune, chasing the cries of children always seeming so near, yet somehow out of reach. Thank you. I take that as a very high compliment. Thank you very much for the message. Louisio. That is a reasonable thing to assume. The existence of Roadhead might imply the existence of Skyhead as well, or Flighthead. Well, sometimes things can get a little stressful up here, so I'm not exactly saying I'd reject the opportunity, but I'm afraid it might also get me in quite a bit of trouble with management, so we'll have to be very quiet. Do you underneath, cramped right at my seat? Can you please make sure that you keep your back straight and don't panic? And remember not to make too much noise, because it might get picked up on the radio. Thank you very much for the message, Mrs. Evie. I'm afraid that this meal is mine. It's really nice, and if you try to take it from me, I will kill you with my own two hands. This meal is the only thing keeping me happy at the moment. This meal is the only thing that I trust. This meal is the only thing that I feel as though I could fall in love with truly and deeply. If you'd like to change that, leave me to my meal, and then once it's finished, I might be able to change my mind. I think I might just have some more right now. I know I won't turn off the intercom while I eat, because, to be honest, I'm quite enjoying the spectacle of how much you all seem to enjoy this as well. Ms. Jade Oracle, thank you very much for the message. I'm not exactly sure what you're talking about. I don't think anyone is riding me in the cockpit. Unfortunately, I think it might be good for a great amount of stress relief, and I imagine that, well, it might be a little turbulent this high up, but it might also be kind of fun. Thank you very much for the suggestion, however. Tuscado, mama. Oh, the noodles. You never let me down. Miss Hennessy, thank you very much for your message. If you are in need of refreshing your frequent flyer information, then you can do it at any kiosk at the airport when we land. Any attempts to get into my house will be met with swift legal justice, but not before I have my fun with you first. Thank you very much for the message, Sliced Cucumber. If you have any sort of indication that your heart might be palpitating or that you're experiencing symptoms of intense anxiety, please make sure that you see the on-flight attendant regarding your current health condition. Right now, I think the only other person on board is me, so perhaps you should see me in the cockpit. Yes, the alien doctor on board right now is me. The only pilot on board is me. Monsieur, thank you very much for the wonderful suggestion. You might be right. If anyone could let me know if there are any Five Nights at Freddy's animatronics on this flight, then I will make sure to conserve power by not keeping my door shut at all times. But if any of you decide to try and get in, then I'm afraid I will have to treat you like an animatronic. I will learn your patterns, I will learn your audio cues, and I will not let you in. Thank you, Ms. Meowie, for the wonderful suggestion. I am looking away because we are advanced enough that we have autopilot, and also, just in case you were wondering, I got distracted. Moving on. Mrs. Mai, thank you very much for the message. The Mile High Club is a myth, and you will not be experiencing it with me. Whether or not you experience it with someone else aboard this flight is none of my business, although you may be met with swift legal justice either way. Mrs. Evie, please don't make jokes about previous flight incidents. I'm afraid that's against company policy. I admire the wordplay, though. Thank you very much for the suggestion, Mr. or Mrs. Julian Shaw. Interesting question. Although, from my perspective, the people on this flight tend not to stop being, what is the term? Down bad, no matter how high up they actually are. That's the difference. And I think that's why I'm treating you all to such a unique experience. What you do takes dedication, and what you do takes bravery, or perhaps the stupidity to ignore the embarrassment of the things that you say online. I figure that why deny what you want when you're diving in with so much gusto? You understand? No, our flight destination is not a court of law, although if you try breaking into the cockpit, it will be. If anyone has brought outside food onto this plane, particularly anything particularly pungent, please report them to me, and I will come and deal with them personally. Sir or Miss Unknown, thank you very much for the suggestion. I really appreciate your suggestion, but I actually already have a co-pilot. They're sleeping at the moment, but you might get to see them later. Hennessy, thank you very much for the suggestion. If you would like an oxygen mask, please remember to pull the tab above you when they are released in the event of an emergency. Otherwise, they will not be released, as this can cause numerous issues. Please try not to distract us while we fly. And worst of all, if you manage to cause any kind of an accident during the flight, in order to access the oxygen tanks, well, I don't think you'll be seeing the light of day again. Thank you, Miss Jade Oracle, for the suggestion. There's not enough room for that, unfortunately. We might be able to try if we were in some kind of a large luxury cockpit, but I'm not sure how many of those exist, and look behind me. There's not enough space to put someone on all fours, unfortunately, as much as I might enjoy that. Could you buy me a drink? No. Absolutely none. I will not allow myself to be intoxicated at any point on this flight. If I ever became properly intoxicated, I would most likely crash the vehicle, and that would be impossible to deal with. I would surely lose my job. A lot of you would lose your lives. No, you may not buy me a drink. You can try to buy me a drink after we land. But by this point, I'm not sure if someone willing to crash my plane is someone that I want to drink with, so... Please relax while I have some more of my lunch. The only, just to stress how serious I am, the only thing getting slurped on this flight will be these noodles. And that's final. And remember, if this disappoints you at all, if you really do want to get a taste of me, the promotion of Sweets Paradise is also available. Please check your in-flight magazine for details. Miss Hennessy, thank you very much for your suggestion. We will not be trying this swimming vests today. We will be having a safe flight, and then we will be landing, and you and I will never see one another again. At least not that I hope so. You scare me. All of you do. Miss Gloria Sanchez, thank you for the suggestion. If we got off the plane now, we would both surely die. Perhaps later on. That might be achievable. Thank you very much. Thank you for the message, Scion. Glad to know that we can make you happy on this flight. Of all people on this flight, Mrs. Slice Cucumber, yes. You are a good girl. And you won't catch me saying that again. I'm a professional, and no amount of attention is going to change my mind. Could I teach you how to operate the plane? I'm insulted. I went to flight school for years to be able to fly one of these planes. I went to flight school for many vessel like this before we manage to land is ludicrous and offensive. I have a nerve to come back there and slap you in the face myself. But of course, then I would forget to fly the plane. Miss Tristania, thank you for the message. There are no snakes in the toilet. There will never be snakes in the toilet, and there have never been snakes in the toilet. Thank you. Miss Zizi, thank you for the message. I have no preference on where we fly. Right now, my only option is to find a destination to land this plane. If I start thinking about other locations, it may compromise my ability to fly the plane. And that would be good for none of us, least of all for you. Venstars, if you use an axe to break down the cockpit, I will immediately call in-flight security. The only person on board might be me, but I'll fight you off myself. Ash, thank you for the message. The cast of Kung Fu Panda is not aboard this flight. The cast of Kung Fu Panda have never been aboard this flight. The cast of Kung Fu Panda will never be aboard this flight. Thank you very much for the message, Ripped Clubs. No. Thank you. Miss NIJISANJI, thank you for the suggestion. Just because I called someone a good girl doesn't mean they're my preference. They might be, but you wouldn't know that. None of you know me. I'm just a pilot, trying to get you where you need to go. Do you understand? Miss I, thank you for the message. If I were off the job right now, I would see an easy opportunity to make a joke here. I'd see an easy opportunity to say that your seat is right here on my lap. But unfortunately, I am on the job, and I need to be professional. Right now, your seat is in aisle 15, row B. Please, make your way back, find your seat, and be good. Miss Evie with another suggestion. That is actually kind of sweet. Thank you. Just because, Miss Cat, thank you for the suggestion. Just because I'm stressed doesn't mean I need to partake in anyone's cake. Although after we land, that might become a different story. Bellini for Bellini, thank you very much for the suggestion. Yes, I have heard of Bovidy's nuts, but have you heard about the ladies aboard this flight? No, you may not change your seat in my lap. My lap is not a registered seat. If anything, sitting on my lap during the flight might qualify you as a stowaway. And if I knowingly brought a stowaway on board, I would surely lose my job. And I'm not about to do that for you. Italian Love Cake, thank you very much for the suggestion. If you keep up your bullshit, I will turn this plane around. Let me do my job. Mrs. Akatsuki, thank you very much for the suggestion. No matter how much you'd like to mess with me, I will land this plane. I swear to God. May you wear my sunglasses, King Mochi. Perhaps. Although I need to keep them on right now. Any glare from the sun that might distract me from the flight might put all of your lives in danger, and I cannot allow that to happen. Xanazine, if you try causing trouble with me during the flight, I'm afraid I will have you arrested. But after the flight, who knows? Mrs. Hayeki, my cup is just fine. Please, don't try to convince me that something is wrong when nothing is. My cup is completely fine. Reinhardt, thank you very much for the suggestion. If you would like to upgrade to first class, please approach the front of the cabin. We have someone there who might be able to upgrade your ticket for you, although as far as I'm aware, first class is completely booked up. We might be able to auction off something, though. Maybe kick somebody out. I don't know. It's kind of feral out there. Eclipse, thank you very much for letting me know. If half the passengers are going into cardiac arrest, we may need to act fast. Everyone in the cabin, please refer to the closest person to you who might be experiencing heart problems, and please try to administer CPR. I would be giving it to them myself because I know that's exactly what they want. Mr. Oracle, I'm afraid you've been misinformed. First class do not receive complimentary kisses. The entire plane receives complimentary kisses. Just because you've all been so well behaved. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for letting me know. But the plane is not crashing, I assure you. Thank you for your kind words, Miss Claire. I'll bear that in mind. Thank you very much. The destination is my heart. Well, perhaps. We'll have to see where we land. Miss Evie, I'm very sorry that you've tried all your jokes and none of them seem to work. One more complimentary kiss for the entire cabin. I hope that's enough. And I hope the radio disturbance doesn't make that seem like not something you would enjoy having. Alright? Thank you. Mrs. Yu, thank you very much for your very kind message. I'm afraid that if you flew right into my heart, I would surely die. But I appreciate being told that I am swag. That's pretty cool. Thank you. Miss Molly Chen, thank you very much for informing me that I need to say, 我的小星星, in order to save the life of a fellow passenger. Anything I can do to make this flight as comfortable and as magic as possible. See, thank you for your message. If you report me to the authorities for trying to keep this ravenous band of people satiated, I'll kill you myself. Phoenix, thank you very much for informing me that I have missed a message you sent earlier. Allow me to check. Thank you very much. Yes, you've heard correctly. a strange bunch, aren't you? Oh well. No, caviar toast is not available on the flight. If you ask me for caviar toast, I might throw you right out the window. And then you can slowly sail down, back to the earth. And right before you explode into a cloud of gore, you can think about how it was me that threw you. Derek, I appreciate the sentiment, but there is no room for a doormat in here. No, I do not part-time at McDonald's. I actually make a lot of money working as a pilot. This is all that I need. I would not work part-time at McDonald's. And anyone that you've heard working at McDonald's who sounds a lot like me is most likely someone else. Get your pog. Thank you very much for the kind message. I love you too. If anyone on the flight is fainted, please feel free to report them to me directly. I'll see what I can do. Please ignore that. I'm not tired, and I'm keeping my eyes firmly on the space ahead of us. Miss NIJISANJI, thank you very much for your consideration. Bring a whip next time. Not appropriate for on the flight. Thank you for your suggestion, however. It has been noted, and will most likely be discarded. Miss Cecilia, your ticket looks fine. Miss Sako, yes, I have seen that movie. I quite enjoy it. Although please don't remind me of a movie where planes crash while I'm flying. It might distract me. Thank you very much, Jay, for your kind donation. A massage. I would greatly appreciate a massage. Thank you, Mrs. Maria. Miss Meredith, thank you very much. I believe this plane might be closer to heaven, if you believe in such a thing. Although, if you personally believe that my voice carries you closer to heaven, then, well, by all means, that is your own opinion, and this agency has no interest in changing your opinion. Mrs. Ashley, thank you very much. Do I need a flight attendant to help relieve any in-flight stress? If there were room, I might take you up on that offer, but I wouldn't want to accidentally kick you in the face while you're trying to help me out down there. My priority is your safety. Claire, thank you very much for your kind donation as well. Also, it will be my birthday in JST in about 3 minutes. I'm very much looking forward to my birthday this year. It won't be in my own time zone, but for those of you celebrating in JST, it's about to happen. I'm not 100% sure how old I actually am, but whatever happens, I'll be 1 year older. It's incredible, isn't it? there soon. Like an invite meal. Oh, baby. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Oh, yeah. Simply delicious. Yes, it's only one more minute to go. Lisa Blackpink, thank you very much. I'm not your baby, but I appreciate it nonetheless. Chin Chin Bao Bao, Juan. And there we go. Thank you very much for all the birthday wishes, everybody. I love you guys. Even if you are a massive disruption to this flight. Tone, thank you very much for that very kind donation. Thank you so much. Tuito, Akira, thank you. Thank you very much. Ah, well, there's that. You know, now that it's ticked over into my birthday in JST, oh goodness, those are a lot of donations. Thank you, everybody. Lulamoose, Ima Cha. Yeah, Ima Chadia. Hennessy, thank you. Now that it's ticked over into my birthday, I have half a mind to relax. You know, all of you, Lulamoose, thank you very much for your kind donation. If you look out on your left, you might be able to see a rainbow start to form. And me so as well, thank you. But as I was saying, oh my goodness, I have to address all of these kind messages coming in from the passengers. Thank you very much to Heidi, and Ellie, and Marina, and Daddy-chan, and Lulamoose with another contribution towards that beautiful rainbow. Howie, thank you very much. Mamita, Green Bean, Jay, Murray Smith, thank you. But as I was saying, flying a plane like this is always very difficult. May, thank you. And Little Moose, thank you for finishing up that beautiful rainbow. And Zhongli's wife as well. Thank you. Like to hire a new flight attendant who's very good at cooking, especially cakes. I could do with the cake right now. Whether it's one of your cakes is up for debate. Rice Penguin, thank you for the super. With all of that out of the way, I would like to say, it's quite a stressful experience flying a plane sometimes. Thank you, Christine. And now that it's my birthday, to a name I can't read, thank you for the very kind donation. You know, thank you as well. Tonkatsu, thank you. Yue, thank you. Now that it's ticked over into my birthday, I feel like I might as well take a little break. At least thank you. So, before we move on, I'm going to hand you over to my very well-equipped co-pilot.
Hi everybody, this is Boxan. I'm going to be Captain Akuma's co-pilot for today. Thank you very much for your patience. He's going to be relaxing for a little while up front, but I've had my relaxation. I've been sitting back, and now we have an opportunity to hang out with one another. So before further ado, I'd like to say thank you very, very much for welcoming me onto this flight. We'll be landing in the next hour or so, so for just a little while, you're going to have some company with me. Thank you very, very much for your patience. bunch of passengers. I'm not sure why Captain Akuma is being so misunderstanding when it comes to everything that you want from him. And Ellen, thank you very much as well. I understand. I really do. But he's a professional, remember? And so am I. Just because he's a man in uniform doesn't mean he owes you anything. And doesn't mean he's there to help you live out your fantasies. Although he does look quite good with those epaulets on, doesn't he? Hanatan, thank you very much for all the love today. Kamaki, thank you very much as well. Kazare. Yoridi. Nai. Thank you guys very much for all of your kind birthday wishes. I'm sure he feels really, really appreciative of all of the love today. And Nan as well. Thank you so much. I'm not your mommy, but I really appreciate being given a title that reflects a little bit of authority. I've had enough being a co-pilot. One of these days I'm gonna become a real pilot, and then you'll all see. Claire, girl, thank you so much. Justin Eco, thank you very much for your kind donation. Now remember, this is, at the end of the day, this experience is supposed to be about flying. This is not about my Lord's birthday. So please, let's stay on topic. No matter how much you love me, or no matter how much you love him, please, let's stay on topic. And remember, we need things to talk about on this experience. We need things to go through and experience together. If there's anything you would like, please send your suggestions, and we'll make sure to make them come true for you. Do you understand? Thank you. Miss Mai, thank you very much. Are you trying to say that you want me to be the head pilot? Or are you just trying to say that you want head from me? You won't get it no matter how hard you ask. You've got to earn it. Do you understand? Miyako, thank you very much for that kind donation, and Zoe as well. Thank you so much. I'm glad you're enjoying the trip. Shinchin, thank you very much. Alright, I'm feeling a little tired. I might let Vox take back over. Do you understand? I'll miss you all. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. Thank you very much for having given Voxan a little bit of time to say hello. You're going to be dealing with me for the rest of the flight, so please don't complain, or I'll be really upset. Thank you. Thank you very much to Leaf in Times Square. Thank you very much. You know, flying this plane, it really does get on my nerves sometimes. The steering wheel is kind of stiff, and the wings make this odd little rattling noise, and it just isn't the kind of thing I'd like to be doing. I'd like to fly something a little nicer than this. I'd like to fly a jumbo jet, multiple floors, that sort of thing. You understand? I deserve a lot more than what I've got. But of course, I might lose what I do have if I decide to engage in any more conversation with you degenerates.
Oh yes. Oh yes, degenerates. I know what I'm talking about. I know full well what I'm saying. And you really can't. Do you really have much of a way of disagreeing with me on this? Yeah, that's right. I didn't think so. Zora, thank you very much for your kind donation. I just received a suggestion from Miss Saku to do a barrel roll. I'm not really sure if, hold on. This might look a little silly. Let's see if we can't make this work. Here we go. We're upside down, everybody. Barrel roll. That was funny. Thank you very much for all of your kind words, everybody. Yeah, that was a very dangerous maneuver to do in such a large aircraft full of so many passengers, almost 8,000 passengers. But to be quite frank with you, perhaps this is just what we need. Perhaps this is just a part of the process of making you all happy. Shido and boxes, gloves, thank you. You have a birthday gift for me? And after we land, you won't be able to behave. Well, if you can't behave around me after we land, I'm afraid I'll just call the police. I love you too, Shido. Skyly Rose, thank you very much. Good luck with your work. Miss Denise, thank you very much for letting me know. I'm not about to join the Mile High Club with you, but good try. Thank you very much, Nikki and Toby as well. Thank you. Now, to be honest, JS and Fox Switcher, thank you as well. You know, to be honest, I'm sort of wondering, are you getting a little tired of hearing all of this? Are you getting a little tired of hearing my voice through this crackly radio? Meeswell, thank you very much. Good morning. Good morning. Make sure to rise and shine. A little bit. I understand. It's difficult to listen to for such a long time. There's a reason why most pilots don't engage in conversation for this much time. Lily, thank you very much for that. Beautiful. Oh, $500. It's a lot of money. You're incredible. Thank you very much. What I'm wondering is, would any of you like, perhaps I can bend the rules a little. Perhaps I can allow you up in the cockpit. Would that be agreeable to you? I would need a couple minutes to set things up, but perhaps you could come up in the cockpit and then I wouldn't have to talk to you through this awful radio. Does that sound alright? Good. Alright. Well, while I get that ready, I'm going to need to make a few safety preparations. I'm going to have to set the autopilot in tune. So please, don't panic. If we experience any turbulence, I promise I will correct the plane as soon as I can. This is a magic cockpit. If we need 8,000 people in the cockpit, I reckon it'll work. Alright. Allow me just a moment, everybody. Thank you.
Hi. Am I audible? Good. Thank you very much for joining me in the cockpit today. You know, this might be the first time you've heard me up close like this. Hopefully this whole experience sounds nice for you, right? Good. That's better. That's much better. Well, now we have the opportunity to get a little more acquainted with one another. I still haven't finished my lunch, and so in the meantime, I might need to take a break and eat something. But I'm glad that we can stop talking through this silly radio. Now, you and I, we have an opportunity to just talk to one another in person. You understand? Are you in my heart? No. Why would you be? Do any of you have suggestions for what we can do while we're in the cockpit? Why not? My heart is a while away. It'll take a while before we get there, at least another 40 minutes. Make out. No. Aw. Aw, you poor thing. You poor thing. Nice try. Oh, you poor thing. Miss Jade Oracle, thank you very much for your suggestion. More kisses and holding my hand. Aw. Well, I suppose now that we're up here in person, there's nothing to really stop us. Yeah, fuck the risks. I wouldn't mind putting my career in danger. You're very beautiful. Oh, that's clever. Help you stretch your legs out, huh? You know, it's kind of a small cockpit. I think most cockpits are pretty small. You can try, but, I don't think you'll succeed. I can't imagine that actually fucking up here might be a little bit, cramped and kind of uncomfortable. We can always try. For legal reasons. And for my superiors listening, I promise you that's a joke. I'm sorry this has to be a bit of a mono experience and I can't lean from ear to ear. But I think hearing me in both isn't so bad. We'll be able to fix this for next time. I'll stretch in other ways. No. I'd rather not. I do have to focus on the flight. I hope you understand. Can you sit on my lap? Well, what? Would you like to? Say it. Say you'd like to sit on my lap. Good. Then fine, sure. You're welcome to come and sit on my lap. While I focus as hard as I can on flying this fucking plane, I suppose you and I can have a little fun up in the cockpit, hmm? A kiss when we land. Oh, sweet thing, you can have a kiss right now. Don't feel like you need to be coy. Ask for what you want. I might give it to you. Oh no, I don't mind. I don't mind if you wiggle at all. Don't worry, it's fine. I promise we can't do too much. I do have to keep flying the plane. But before we land, you know, as long as you're sensible and do something within reason. Oh, of course, of course. Well, if it doesn't distract from the flight too much, I suppose I can try. Miss Hennessy, I'm very sorry you're feeling flustered and not at all relaxed. I'm afraid that might be my fault. But don't worry, the plane will be landing soon. Keep something warm while on my lap. I promise you I'm very warm already. We have good heating up here. But, well, I suppose I understand. Press this button? No. No. Might have to grab you by the hand and put it behind your back. If you decide to touch anything. You can't touch anything up here because it will result in the plane crashing. And I don't know about you. I don't think you're worth dying for. Oh. Well, I suppose if you're going to touch anything, you might as well touch me. But don't do it too much, I do have to concentrate. Thank you very much for wishing me a happy birthday. I might consider this my birthday treat. This is fun. I didn't think we'd make it here. I thought I'd be talking to you in the aisles the entire flight. But I'm glad you had the, what's the word? The tenacity to beg to come and speak to me in the cockpit. Well, now that we're here, be good. I don't want to crash. Looks like there's another rainbow outside. You can thank Akuma for that. And we'd like to give you another kiss, yeah. thank you for your patience. Running out of water on the flight? Well, that's fine. We'll be landing in just over half an hour. It's very interesting, I have to say. My experience with this is a little different. I mean, I'm no stranger to people wanting attention from me. A man in uniform is hard to resist, after all. But beyond that, I haven't quite experienced something quite like this before. I haven't quite experienced something quite like all of you, begging so much for so much attention. And yet, after all that time, and all of that begging, still, when you actually do have the attention you want, suddenly you shut down, and you can hardly speak. Oh, poor baby. Oh, it's okay. I understand what it must be like. Wanting something so badly and then being so overwhelmed with pleasure when you have it, you're not sure how to react. Oh, you poor thing. Oh, poor baby. Is this what you wanted? Is this what you really wanted? Spending all this time and all this energy, and then when you finally make it, to just blush and put your face in your hands. You fucking idiot. Oh, you want me to slap you? I assure you, this is very real. You aren't dreaming. Hey, look here. Let me just give you a taste. Let me give you a taste of what might happen. In front of you are so many buttons, dials, controls. I know what they do. I know what all of them do. I know exactly how to use them. I know exactly what to use them for. If you touch them, I'll be really, really mad with you. I'll have to grab your arm, put it behind you, restrain you so you can't make any more trouble. And then once you've truly understood it, I'll try to drive the point home, you understand? Imagine taking those hands of mine you've seen, and I have to hold one side of your face completely still, and I slap it with the other and tell you to stop being so stupid. So if you don't want that to happen, don't press any of my fucking buttons, or I'll be really upset with you. No, don't. No. Stop it. Stop pressing the buttons. Hey, come on. Stop it. Stop it. Hey, what the fuck? Stop it. Stop it. Oh, I think I fucked up. Damn. Alright, fair enough. I gotta... Damn it, I need to figure something out. Huh. Oh well. What does this button do? What does that button do? You won't know. You're too stupid to understand. I know, and I'm using them to get us down safely, you understand? Thank you, Nico and Domek, for wishing me a happy birthday first of all, and then thanking me for slapping you. Okay, well, whatever. Do not crash the plane. That'll make me really upset. Yes, I did. I did slap you. For being so attention-seeking and so desperate for something to happen. More? No. I think I'm starting to understand the way you work. You deliberately prod and poke, desperate to get a reaction out of me. It won't work again. I kept thinking that perhaps if I genuinely threatened you that you might stop. But no, that seems to be exactly what you want. And the last thing I'm here for is to give you exactly what you want. If you keep pressing buttons, I'll send you back to the cabin. You won't get to talk to me anymore. You won't get to do anything anymore. So be well behaved. One more button and I send you back. So be good. Do you understand? That's my girl. Alright, I mean, I guess I understand. So, now that you're up here, you're deciding to threaten me. Evie, that was a good one. So now you're deciding to threaten me. Now you're deciding that if you don't get exactly what you want, that if I don't grab your face and slap you another time, that you'll flip the switch labeled autopilot and we'll all fall to our deaths. You'll have me. Let me rephrase that. It's either you have me, or no one does. Is that right? Well, thank you very much for causing a beautiful rainbow to appear in the sky, Nechi Nechi. You sure that's what you want? Are you sure? I suppose I understand. Normally I'd tell you to touch grass, but there's no grass up here. We're in the sky. All right, I understand. Because you've been so very good. And because you've begged so hard for it. Hold still. Now feel it sting for a bit before you decide to test me again. Well, now you're starting to affect me as well. I can't say I'm not having fun as well. Oh, you really are hopeless, aren't you? So desperate for more attention, you keep begging for it more and more and more every time I give you the slightest crumb. You want more and more and more and more. Humor me. Tell me. What'll it take to stop you attention seeking? What'll it take for this plane to finally have a chance to land? Because right now you're holding me so close, I'm not sure if I can land the plane. We're only 15 minutes away from beginning our final descent. And if we're not able to before we do, then, well, I can't be responsible for what happens. That's what I mean. Not only have I worked very hard for my job, I paid a lot of money for this suit. Try not to get it wet. Humbly requesting a bit of a smooch might be okay. You might think it's romantic to crash together. I think it's a horrible stain on my record. I don't want to give you the satisfaction of being the one who caused it. You're worth nothing to me. My career and this plane are all that I need. Do you understand? Oh, clever. Oh, very clever. Oh, then we can just take it off. No. You don't get to see any of that. No, 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 no. Nice try. Oh, that sounds alright. Perhaps then I might actually have a chance at flying this plane. If you curled up in my lap like a cat and I was able to pat your hair, then maybe I'd at least be able to fly with one hand. But right now you're making me too excited. Alright, Jade Oracle, if that's what you want. You have 10 more minutes before we begin our final descent. Try and come to some kind of consensus on what it is you actually want out of this. My gloves have already restrained your hands. I'm way ahead of you. I don't want to let you move freely around up here. You'll probably cause some kind of a problem. Thank you for the birthday wishes as well. That's right, I am being unprofessional, causing turbulence in your heart like that. Maybe I should send you back early, As far as I'm aware, I think the cockpit might be soundproof, so maybe we'll have a chance at having some fun together before we land. But then I might not want to get fired. Tascare. You're welcome. You know what? Yeah. Just because it'll fuck with people. What? Like... Baba Booey. Well, last time I didn't want to ruin the mood. Now I think ruining the mood is going to give me quite a kick. No, Miss Arabella, I know how to use all of these buttons, and if you act like you do, I'm afraid I'm going to have to send you back to the cabin. And I know you want to be up here with me. You're terribly predictable. As far as I'm aware, I don't know if there will be another flight, because inviting the entire cabin into my cockpit to sit on my lap and, well, go for a ride. I don't think it's very professional. My agents here are going to hear about it, and they'll most likely decommission me by the end of the day. So, thank you. Thank you for helping me have a little bit of fun. I don't think there will be another flight. But for my last one, I'm glad we had a little bit of fun together. Although, if you all keep your mouths shut, there might be a chance. You're welcome. All right. I think it might be time you all headed back to the cabin. We have to begin our final descent pretty soon. Is there anything else you'd like? I'll give you another 5 minutes. Oh, I like it when you beg. Well, I suppose before I send you back, we can just, well, I kind of angle the plane down a little. That's my sweet thing. Being so bad at getting me fired. That was for keeping me company and having fun with me. And that was for getting me fired. Just before I send you back, think about what you did. I'll hold you close and you can listen to my heart for a bit. just asked me to call them a good girl. No. You haven't been good today. You've been disobedient. You've been rude. You've done nothing but seek attention and beg non-stop for me to entertain your little fantasies in all these different kinds of ways. First, you said you would break down the door to my cockpit. Then, when finally I caved and allowed you to check out the cockpit, you sat in my lap. You started pressing as many buttons as you could. And then, when I threatened to slap you for doing so, you kept doing it. Thank you. Tell me you're sorry. Good. I don't forgive you. I'm just enjoying the sounds of you whining and crying. If I go through the misery of getting fired, you deserve to be a little miserable too. That's my girl. That's my boy. That's my sweet thing in between. My sweet little disaster. My sweet little problem sat in my lap, trying to crash my plane and making me hard. With that in mind, I think it might be time you headed off. Get back to the cabin, return to your seat, and we'll start our descent in just a moment.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. Thank you very much for a very long and very entertaining flight. Thank you very much for being so patient with me. Thank you very, very much for being so entertaining throughout the entire. This has been a very interesting flight. This has been a very exciting flight, and I've had a really, really good time traveling with you all. There's a lot of time left before we land, but please make sure you fasten your seatbelts. Make sure that you observe the no smoking signs on the ceiling, and make sure that you, in the event of an emergency, are aware of where the emergency exits are. We'll be beginning our descent in just a moment, so please relax, keep your seatbelts on, and thank you all very much for flying with Captain Akuma. And I'd like to say that if any of you are the kind to clap or to celebrate when you land, I'm going to be really upset. I think that's cringe, and I don't want to believe that I sat with you on my lap that entire time and entertained the fantasies of someone who is that upsettingly cringe. Thank you very much for flying with Akuma Airways. The luggage will be available before you land. And once again, thank you very much for flying with us. Oh wait, shit. Ignore that. We made it. Okay, I'm gonna break character and be completely real with you. I downloaded the sound effect for landing. I didn't realize there was someone saying yay at the end of it, and it really bothered me, so let's all cringe together. There we go, it's out. There we go. Thank you very much for a really enjoyable flight. much for all the time you spent with me today, and I really hope that you can all go home and not blame yourselves for the terrible events that took place today. I'm getting fired, but I had fun, so whatever. Thank you, everybody. I'll see you all tomorrow, where we'll get a chance to celebrate my birthday. Goodbye.